Hi, my name's Nadine Nelson and I'm the head of the ISB CACHE Centre here in Brunei, Darussalam, and I'm with Vivette Eaton, who is the head of Laser Learning Systems, which is the e-portfolio system that we use as a centre. And it's my absolute pleasure to welcome her along today.
Thank you.
I have a few questions just about your work with laser learning systems, which is something that we use very much here at the ISB CACHE Centre. But first, let's start with, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
About me, I've been Director of Laser Learning now for quite a number of years, probably too many to mention on film, and I'm a mum of 3 children and 5 grandchildren, and my background is in early years, and I'm really passionate now about lifelong learning and about tutoring early years practitioners to ensure that they can become the very best versions of themselves, really, and continue to develop and give good outcomes for young children.
Yes.
That's my mission in life, I think. So I'm turning up in places like this, and it's lovely to come here and see the work that you're doing. Yeah,
fantastic, thank you. Can you share a little bit about the working relationship that you've had with the ISB CACHE Centre over the years?
Yeah, we started working, Laser Learning and ISB started working together in 2015. It's been quite an ongoing, long time relationship actually, which has been wonderful. There's been various staff has come and gone, as is the case with international schools. They tend to change heads of departments and things quite frequently. But then in the last couple of years, obviously you've been here and the CACHE Centre there is growing and developing. And so I suppose my role mostly has been in showing you how to use the Laser e-portfolio and how to make use of the learning resources that we've had.
Yes.
And then in between those times, we've done some training with some of your staff that have become assessors, and yourself doing your qualifications with us as well. So we've had more of a relationship of trainer-learner relationship, as well as just running the e-portfolio that you use. So it's been really lovely to see the development over the period of time, which has gone from a young centre getting to know what UK qualifications are like and what the vocational system is, etc., and then suddenly becoming a properly fully formed training centre, basically, with your own assessment team and moving on in that way. It's been a pleasure really to come and have a look and see that development over all of those years, and see that you now have an early learning centre where children are developing and staff know exactly what they're doing and are following the UK curriculum and the EYFS in quite a lot of detail and really well.
Yeah, and that's been something that we've really valued, that partnership working as well, and it's been wonderful to know that for that support we've been in contact, and you've really guided us through a lot of processes and things, because your expertise is overseeing different works internationally as well. And I think for us we've really benefited from just that support and that ongoing relationship. So it's lovely that you're here in Brunei and that you're spending this time with us, and you're really getting to meet the people and see how things work for us as a centre, which is wonderful.
No, it's been really good. And I think whereas normally with laser learning, because we're an e-portfolio provider essentially, we don't often get involved in the detail of how the centres run and who the assessment team are and supporting the assessment team. But because we've trained your assessors ourselves through our own learning centre at Laser, we've got a much deeper relationship and a much better understanding of what's going on in your centre and you of what Laser's doing, really, which has been really amazing. It's good.
Can you tell me a little bit about vocational training and where you see the value in vocational training? Because obviously that's what we deliver. We offer placement-based learning for anyone who comes and takes a CACHE course. So they come into ISB, we've got our campuses both here in Bandar and in Suria, and so people can come, they get assigned a mentor, they're working along in the setting, as well as having that tutorial support and the time with their own assessors. What do you think is the key value of vocational training, especially for people who are interested in education as a career?
Oh wow, where to begin on that one?
Yeah.
Basically, vocational training to me is the best way you can do it, because you're bringing someone into the workplace. They're seeing how the industry operates. They're seeing what they have to do on a daily basis. Generally, they have the opportunity to be paid whilst they're training. I don't know the situation here and don't need to know that little bit, but basically if you come into the setting, you're working alongside qualified professionals who know what they're doing, and you're learning by osmosis as much as by the actual teaching that happens. So you've then got the whole process of that lifelong learning. You're not doing a qualification, finishing that and going to work and learning how to work and then finishing that work and moving on to another job. It's just a continuous process of learning and development. And every day, as they say, is a school day. Right from the day you leave school to the day that you finish your career in early years or wherever you might be in your vocational training. You've got the industry telling you exactly what needs to be done. So you're not just learning the theory of things, you're learning the practice. You're seeing how things operate, how do policies and procedures, which are very legislative, how they actually interpret into the workplace that you've got. You're learning what works and what doesn't work by seeing people do it. And sometimes that's a lot easier to get into your head. If you just read it, it's just one way of learning. But if you can read it, you can see it, you can do it, it's kind of multiplying the way that you're understanding. And then it sticks in your head much better. So I think all in all, it's just wonderful. And it gives you confidence. So you're getting the skills, the knowledge and the confidence all rolled into one because you're doing it every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've spent a little bit of time here with us as a centre. What have you observed and what would you say are some of the highlights that you've seen from the ISB CACHE Centre here so far?
Oh, I would say it really sounds corny, but we just mentioned it this morning. I've come from England to come here for the first time to Brunei, and I've come into your early learning centre, and it felt like walking into a family situation because the children are all comfortable. They greeted me as though I was just another normal person coming into their centre. Nothing, no one knew or anything. It was just expected that they could converse with me, they could relate and talk to me about what they were doing, and I could join in their activities. The staff have an understanding of the children's needs. They know how to relate to the children without being too formal. There was none of that sit down here and get on with that and learn that because it's the time to do it. What it was is more of a natural process, which is what we're all about really in the early years qualification, is making sure that children are learning from their own experiences, from seeing something that interests them and then developing that idea, and then having staff there to facilitate that learning, to give them another tool to go with their whatever they're playing with in order to extend their learning and their play. So play is like key to everything that we do in early years really, because that's how children learn. It's not just play, it's work, it's about their day-to-day understanding and development. And so having professionals that are sitting alongside them saying what they're doing is wonderful, prompting them with little bits of language in a very natural way, giving them praise for what they're doing, but not false praise, but genuine sort of, well done, I really like the way you did that. Or your tower is so big, can you make it any bigger? Will it fall over? Giving them all that language and skills, helping them to understand feelings and emotions, teaching them how to be part of the community really, but from a very young age. And that's what we picked up from yesterday within the nursery. We got all of that, and it just felt like a really nice community, and it just felt like those children were learning and happy and understanding and developing, and there was no pressure. And if you looked around, you couldn't actually see any formal teaching, and so it didn't feel like school. It just felt like play and fun. But you could see the way that the children understood and could interact. So the relationship between the children was wonderful. There was no real noise. It was bizarre. They were very calm, very quiet, interact nicely together. Yeah, it was just a really lovely experience. Yeah, really nice.
Very engaged. Thank you so much for your time, Vivette. Thank you for coming and seeing us here. And it's just been valuable having you here to see the work, and thank you for your wonderful feedback.
Thank you. No, it's been great. Really enjoyed it and hope I get to come again. Yeah, thank you.